Okay, so let's have a look at the virtual show. VPI has 2 live days on October the 11th and 12th. That isn't to say that it goes on after that, because we have a further 14 days. But just for the moment, let's just look at the 2 live days. During these days, visitors can visit the show to view the webinars and look around the trade stands. Visitors can chat to trade stands, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later. Live webinars will only be available for the live days. Pre-recorded webinars will be scheduled over the 2 days, and visitor gamification will be in action during the live days. And gamification is a way we're looking about moving the visitors around to trade stands. But this is something we're investigating, is available, and we're just going to see how that will work in practice. So for the following 14 days after the live days, visitors can still visit the show and view your stand and look at webinars. It's quite important to make sure that your stand works, because if they can still visit it and see it and go on and see your videos and click on anything to see your leaflets, etc. And if you want them to, I say if you want them to, still to be able to order and make orders on your stand, then that's your choice. Then it's important that your stand therefore continues to work even though there's no one manning it. However, they can send you an email should anyone want to contact you who's a visitor. All the chat features will cease to work. Pre-recorded webinars can still be used, and visitor gamification ceases. So if we do that, that will cease at that stage. And I said at the bottom, your stand still operates as a silent salesman for 2 days plus an extra 14 days. So let's look at a conventional show versus a virtual show. So at a conventional show, and you all know this because you've all done conventional shows, you engage with visitors and can determine what they want. You can segment your visitors into home, new business, overseas. That means if somebody comes to your stand, you can go, well, if you want to make an order and you are in your home country or you're from a local retailer, go and see XYZ salesperson. Somebody comes on your stand from overseas and said, I'm interested in being a distributor, and you put them to the right person. And obviously, if someone comes on and wastes your time, you can go, sorry, I'm not interested in talking to you. You can do all of those things at a conventional show. But also there are many people who come by your stand and will just pick up a leaflet and browse your stand, and you don't know who they are and you have no further contact with them. And probably the major thing at the end of the show, you go, was it a good show or a bad show? And you'll judge that on the number of transfer orders you took, the number of people you talked to, or the opportunities presented during the show. And I guess you add all of those up and that will go, yeah, it was a good show, it was all right, or no, I didn't see anybody, didn't take any orders, it was a bad show. So virtual show, very, very different. You can't see the visitors on your stand. They're virtual visitors and therefore you don't see them. Visitors can chat to you, but you can't open the conversation. And I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. Visitors can silently collect leaflets, watch your videos and place orders without you seeing them. They can do all of those things, but every single time anybody watches a video, collects a leaflet or places an order, they are being recorded insofar as they're tracked. And at the end of the show, you get all the information. So all those people you would normally miss who come by and collect a leaflet or do something or even watch a video on your stand, because they are registered on a virtual platform, we can actually see where they go. And at the end of the show, as I've already shown you, you'll get a full detailed profile on everybody who actually did anything or actually placed an order or looked at any leaflets on your stand. Your trade stand, therefore, needs to work in a totally different way. And I've already said you'll receive full details and profile of every visitor. And you also need to tell visitors what they're looking for, because you can't direct them and go and talk to Joe Blogs about a retail order. You need to actually tell people what you're looking for. And it's quite useful, I think, on the entrance or on one of the toolbars you have on there. I'm looking for distribution in Europe. I'm looking for a distributor in America. I want greater retail distribution in the UK. But that way you'll get the visitors you want and not the visitors you don't want. Because otherwise I'm going to give you a list at the end of this show and you're going to go, well, actually, that's no use to me. And because they weren't the people I wanted to talk to. So if you're not telling visitors who you want to talk to, you could get everybody there who's just going to graze your stand. And finally, the contents of what you put in your stand is important. And therefore, that's really straightforward. You need to make sure your graphics are crisp and clear, and you need to make sure your toolbar actually has things on it that people can click on, the things that you really want them to see. Let's look at design. Two designs on the left, not from the show. The Canam one, no idea what they were trying to do. This was not at our show, this was another show, and where we just looked through trade stands to see what type of things people were doing. And the one on the left, the bottom one below that, again, lots of machinery. Who's the company? What do they want to do? What customers they are trying to attract? No idea. It just gave me no feeling at all about, do I want to go on their stand? Go to the right, look at the Suebridge stand. Brilliant. Shows very clearly what the products are, what the show offers are, what their price book is. You can click on that, and the offer book. And the one below, like that, because that's got a whole thing on that about generating business in private label as well as their own brands. So very clear on their own brands, and also clear on private label too. So you must decide really what type of stand you want, who you want to attract to it, and your graphics, what do they want to be about. And it may well be you decide you have two stands, one's about private label and one's about your brands. Your choice, but bear in mind the cost of the stands is not expensive. It's not like doing a normal trade show. And of course, there's no additional cost. You've got no hotels, no travel, no people rigging your stand, etc. And of course, your bar bill will be a lot less too. However, let's now look at chat. And I talked about chat quite a lot because chat's quite an important function in this. Okay, there are a number of different functions on here. One on the top right-hand side and the big yellow one at the top says chat instructions. Dan has put on here instructions so that if you forget what I've said and you're there on your trade stand, want to know how chat works, or explain it to any of your salespeople, you can do that easily because there's the instructions. Down the bottom, leave a message. That's also what I spoke about. Leave a message could be send me an email because I'm not on the stand at the moment. And although on the live days we close the show at 6, in effect, of course, the show stays open 24 hours. Nothing closes. So anybody can come on your stand in the evening or register and go onto it. And if you're not on the stand, they could leave you a message. The chat feature at the bottom is the most important feature because there's a number of different ways you can work on doing this. And let me show you about that now. Okay, so this is how chat works on the live days. And if you just follow this through. So a visitor coming to your stand can push the chat button on it and open up a public chat. And I underline the word public because everybody can see what they're saying. Anybody who is in your public chat room, and anybody can click on that, can see that conversation. And likewise, you can start a conversation going, hello, is anybody there? And if anybody's on your stand, they could respond to you. But bear in mind, they don't have to. They can still visit your stand, do everything in your stand without actually talking. So person comes into your stand and says, I'd like to talk to Joe Bloggs, who's the Southern salesperson. And the Southern salesperson happens to be there during 12 and 2 o'clock. So you can either say, yeah, he's here now, or come back at 12 o'clock when they'll be on the stand. But if they open up that public chat, it may well be that the salesperson doesn't want to have a public chat and wants to have a private one. So in which case the visitor can push private chat and can open up a private chat with the nominated salesperson on the stand, their nominated person they want to talk to, and have a private chat. And that can be either through text or video. So follow the red line on that. You can see it goes through private chat and text or video chat. Simultaneously, when the live days are over, bear in mind, and I've said this earlier, that you can have emails on your toolbar and send me a message, and anybody who visits your stand can send you a message and go, please can I talk at so-and-so, or will you ring me if it's not on the live days? Because bear in mind, the show goes on for 14 days once the live days have finished. So in summary, keep your trade stand easy and simple because it keeps on selling even when you're not present. Don't judge the event by the number of chats you have. Look at the customer engagement at the end of the show. And at the last show, some people said, oh, it's very quiet, didn't talk to very many people. And when we sent them through the visitor profiles, it showed they'd had between 250 and 450 people on their stand. And they said that's more people than we ever see at a conventional show. So they've come back again to engage again on this time. Don't clutter up your graphics, keep them crisp and clean. Tell the audience what you're looking for. And we've said that. I think it's important that you go. It may be something you just want to highlight. I'm looking for a distributor in, I don't know, Czechoslovakia or Germany or whatever else like that. But it's really important that you highlight what type of people you're looking for. Use show promotions to engage the audience. but make them visible to visitors. So in other words, if you are going to do show promotions, go click here to see our show promotions on your stand, etc. And don't clutter your toolbar with all your social media feeds. I think last time, and we were all guilty, including us who had a trace down there, of doing that. Everybody knows you're on Facebook. You should know you're on Facebook or have a web feed. That's fine. But you don't need to put the Instagram address on there and all the other things on there. Just keep it simple. Keep the information that you, if you were visiting your stand, would want to see. Don't just fill it up with information for the sake of filling it up. And use the event assets that Alex spoke about and your own social media to bring traffic to your stand and the show. That's really important. We can do so much. We are a not-for-profit company. We've deliberately kept the show stands at the most reasonable price we can get it to, and therefore we don't spend masses of money on marketing. We rely on social media as well. So the more we can all do on social media, then the greater the number of visitors will be to the stand. And at the end of the day, that will really make the difference between a lot of visitors or a few visitors. But we need you, and actually Rachel and Spotty Dog said this earlier, make social media work. Our hashtag is #VPI. Make sure you use it. Early bird rate. The early bird rate is there to give you a £100 discount should you book before the 28th of August. Our normal rate is for a trade stand is £650. There are no different sizes. It's one rate fits all. So £650 plus VAT price for a trade stand. Book before the 28th of August and you get a £100 discount. And if you're a PIF member, then you get a further discount off of that as well. Reason for the early bird rate is just try and stop everything bunching towards the end of the month or as we get towards the end of the show starting, mainly because give Dan a better chance to help everybody and just plan things out a little bit better. So we're just trying to stop that bunching by putting this rate in there. And we hope you'll book by the 28th of August and that will secure your space, obviously, and give us a better time to plan things out. Daniel's contact numbers are on this slide. Daniel.everett@petfederation.co.uk or 01234 224 507. That's his direct line. Or you can book directly at www.petindexshow.com and all the details are on that www.petindexshow.com website. So you can go in there, book your details, put them all in there, and that will go through to Dan and he'll get back in touch with you. Thank you all very much for listening today. I hope you found it useful, and do get in touch should you have any more information you want. So